Hi,
So
Cathy.
good morning. Good morning, MCCDC. Eric and I are here talking about the ways in which the dance ministry has just we've just blossomed, with the being on the dance ministry. And so, we just want to kind of share the ways in which the dance ministry has so so Eric, I don't know about you, but when I first started in the dance ministry, I was a bit guarded and shy, but there was one thing that I knew deep in my spirit that that God moved me through movement, and
Right.
and I wanted to really, really, really be a part of the dance ministry. And I was feeling like every time I would try to express myself in other ways, that it would be a bit muted. Like I just couldn't, it just wouldn't come through. I couldn't translate what I was feeling in my heart. However, the dance ministry, I was able then to put my prayer to movement. And when you and I first started, was one thing that I loved about you was that we connected in ways that sometimes when you and I would dance, the world would just kind of
Stop.
and we
Right.
would
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we would continue our prayer together. So the spirit really, really would lead us. I don't know, I mean, how do you think?
Well, I was going to ask you, do you remember, when you had told me that Reverend Cathy wanted us to kind of chat and talk about this, I just sort of remember, do you remember the specific moment that you decided you were actually going to join the dance ministry? Because
Do I
I
remember the
remember,
moment?
yeah, I remember very clearly the moment for me. I remember John and I were sort of going through a breakup. I had just gotten demoted from this job where I was working, and I just felt like I felt like the two things that were my foundations that I was so secure in were both sort of shattered and gone, and so I felt very lost. I felt very um, like I had no purpose, no self worth,
Mm,
you know.
mm, mm.
And I just remember, coming to church every Sunday and listening to Reverend Dwayne. And I remember Shirley was the choir director at the time and listening to
Yes,
the
yes.
music. And everything was always very layered. And I just remember this particular Sunday, I think Tamara danced.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it was something that just like opened up the floodgates for me. And I just felt like it just took me to a different level, you
Right,
know?
right, right.
And to me, that was the moment that I realized that I wanted to join the ministry, that this is maybe an area where I feel like I want to contribute or give something back.
Yeah.
Um, and I think you and I both are alike in the sense that I'm sort of a very shy and sort of reserved
Mm-hmm.
person normally. And so I feel like if the spirit moved me that much to want to get up and offer something back and give in a way um, that I felt would be received in the way that I received it.
Right,
Does that make
right.
sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I agree. I mean, I felt the same way. I just didn't know how to express what I was feeling. And in dance for me, it is a prayer,
Right.
and very personal. And so I always felt so honored that we would dance and pray and praise, and then invite the congregation into our space. As opposed to us being in that space, it just always seemed like such an invitation to
Right.
invite the congregation into our space. And for that, even though we would practice and we kind of know where we were going, but we never did it the way that we practiced it. And
Well,
so,
that's what I was going to say too. I also feel like I appreciate the fact that you know the dance ministry and the the leaders there sort of always allowed us um, to be interpretive in our own ways.
Mhm.
Never were very hard about synchronized choreography, because I think,
Yes, yes,
and we've always talked about,
right.
we all have different ways of expressing things. We all
Mhm.
internalize and
Mhm.
share things differently. Um, and your movement is your interpretation. Like you said, that's your prayer.
Right,
So
right,
it was never about trying to force everybody to pray the same way, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
right,
And
right.
I've always appreciated that too, you
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's allowed us a way to connect with the congregation in ways that we sort of never expected. And another song that I was listening to that always makes me emotional too is Just
Yeah,
Say
yeah.
My Name.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes. Yeah,
that
yeah.
dance to me sort of, I feel like, really resonated and connected with,
Yes.
with the congregation. And the
Yeah.
other dance that we did, which I can't remember, with the rope,
Yes. Deliver
with
me.
Deliver Me.
Yes.
Extremely powerful for us. I
Mhm.
just remember our
Yes.
work on that song was so intense, and
Yes. Yes.
to see the reaction from the congregation from that
Yes.
was just
Yes.
mind blowing to me.
Yes. Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know,
It really just kind of it just blew me away as well. And always such an honor. So yeah, MCC, we just love you for loving us and loving on us. And we're always so honored to be a part of a ministry that, is very, very full, joy filled and, praise filled. And we just hope that we can continue to share our praises and our prayer with you. So thank you.
yeah. Thank you.